Hello, my nerdlings. Welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki. This is where we get nerdy. So, I am really late to this party, and I'm really sorry about it. But, excuse you, Barnaby. Apparently my dog's sleepy, even though he's lazy. Everybody did, like, a list of, like, the top books from 2021, or the most disappointing books from 2021. I haven't done mine yet, because I honestly have been debating this. So, I have a stack of 12 books next to me. And these are the top 5-star from last year. It's not all the 5-star from last year, just the ones, they're the top. Okay? We're going to start with 12 and work our way to 1. So, I'm kind of curious what everyone will think is number 1. But book number 12, we have Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. If you've been around here, you know that I enjoy this series. And I did love this book the first time I read it, and I gave it 5 stars. I reread it a few months later, and it didn't have the same punch for me, but because I love Audrey Rose and Thomas Cresswell so much, I couldn't bring it in myself to change the rating, because my initial thought was 5 stars. And then apparently I had higher taste after, like, I had higher expectations after reading the other books in the series, because it just gets better. So, number 12. I love this series. I still highly recommend it to everyone. So, just saying. And then, book number 11, we have Daughter of the Siren Queen by Trisha Levenseller. I loved this series. I love Alosa. I love, what's the prince's name? Raiden. Love him too. Just, it didn't go exactly the way I wanted it to. Like, I wanted it to go one way. I wanted a lot more Alosa and Raiden, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted some steamy scenes, and I didn't get them. And it makes me sad. I wanted just want a little bit of something between the two of them. This book left me very frustrated, in a sense. Book number 10, we have Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. Fun fact, I work at Barnes & Noble. We know this. And we're doing a blind date with a book for February, because, you know, Valentine's. And I put this book on it. It is so cute, so lighthearted. It's the pick-me-up that I needed at the time when I read it. I didn't realize I needed this really cute contemporary YA romance. Because 1, I don't like contemporary, 2, I don't like romance. So the fact that I got this really cute contemporary YA romance, and it just, like, lifted me all up and made me feel all the feels, I loved it. So, book number 10. Book number 9, Warrior of the Wild by Trisha Levenseller. There's a pattern here. I don't know if you noticed. So this book, Rhaenyra is exiled from her village, and she has to prove herself in a Madigar, and I love the way Trisha Levenseller writes a strong female lead. She writes some badass girls, and I love it. I am 100% here for it. I love the banter between Rasmira and some of the other characters in the story. I don't want to say names and do spoilers or anything. Just there's some great banter between her and other characters, and it's phenomenal. I read this in a day. I literally read this in one sitting, and I really, really enjoyed it. So, you can tell there's like some things that I marked for quotes that I thought they were cute. So that's book 9. Yep, that was book 9. So book 8, we're gonna still see the pattern here. Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the second book in the series of Cressworth. This book was my favorite in the series for a bit. I love the blossoming between Audrey and Thomas in here. I love the science and history that is brought up in here, and the mythology, I guess, mythology, folklore aspects that are brought up. I'm just here for it. Carrie Maniscalco stole my heart with this one. I'm gonna tell you what. Thomas, just... He's amazing. He's not even the main character. He's the second main character, but oh my gosh. He definitely, like, drove this home with still reading it when I was, like, unsure at times on if I wanted to keep reading it. But then you get to this one point in here, and it just grabs you, and you don't want to put it down. And, like, you can't put it down until you finish, because you need to know what's going to happen. Or you just, like, you're not fulfilled internally. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it does in here. So, it's book number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah. So book number 7. I know I just said that I don't like these type of books, but the Bromance Book Club by Lysa K. Adams. We read this for BTS's J-Hope prompt, and it was so cute. Like, I didn't realize again at the time I needed a cute contemporary romance until I read it, and apparently I needed the cute contemporary romance. So, I recommend this. I have the next 2 books in the series. I still need to get the 4th, and I will finish this at some point. And I need other people to read this, so I have someone to discuss it with. Because none of my friends have read it. I've gotten one of my other friends to read, Stalking Jack the Ripper and Hunting Prince Dracula. I got them to read them ones. But I need somebody to read this. Please. For my sanity. Because my husband's not going to want to listen to me talk about this type of romance book. So I need somebody else. See my issue here? So, book 6. There's a pattern somewhere. Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. Duh. I love Alosa. I love Raiden. I love their banter. Their interactions in here, them first meeting, learning the whole story of Alosa and her family, and then the story of the different pirate families, and then the whole thing of the Pirate King and the... Yes. And I know there's another, like, there's like a companion book coming out about other characters in this series, and I can't wait. This just, it deserves all the hype it gets on Book Talk, in my opinion. I know many people won't agree with me, but that's my opinion. And you don't have to agree with me. So, we are now to the top 5. Top 5 books of 12. And I'm really curious if anybody would have guessed these next 5 books. When my husband watches this later, I'm going to pause this and see if he can guess which books are in the top. But, so, book number 5 is Blood Witch by Susan Dennard. Because we love Baduin. So, Blood Witch is the 3rd book, not counting the novella. Yeah, Truth Witch, Wind Witch, Blood Witch. Yeah, then Sight Witch. 3rd book, not counting the novella. Obviously, I annotated a lot in this book because this world has a lot going on in it. I don't know if I've explained that enough. There's a lot going on in this world, and I get lost. I have these tabbed. I have notes written out on my phone for, like, fan theories. I need to reread Truth Witch and Wind Witch and Sight Witch and, like, go back through those with a fine-tooth comb because I need to get myself ready for that last book. I know Susan hasn't even started writing it. She's working on Illuminaries, but I don't care. I'm trying to figure it out in my head before the book comes out, just because I'm that type of person. I want to figure out the end before the end is even decided. So, Blood Witch, we love Baduin. We love this world. We love Safia, Isolde, and Merrick, and all of them. Like, I actually have art prints of all of the main characters above my couch that I got from Susan Dennard. So, this series, I'm telling you, it needs to be in a movie, or it needs to be a TV series. It can't be a movie. A movie wouldn't do enough justice for the amount of information that is in this world. I need a TV series. Yeah. Love this. It's so good. So there's book number 5. Number 4 in the countdown. Yeah, countdown. Is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. And I hope no one is really that surprised that this is in the top list. I love everything Korean based. Korean dramas, Korean music, Korean food, Korean mythology. Like, it's so interesting to me. And in this one, we are following Gumiyoung, and Gumiyoung is Gumiho. She's a 9-tailed fox. In order to live, she has to consume the ghee of living humans, but she only consumes the ghee of bad people. So, like, people that are just bad guys. She's, kind of like a vigilante, I guess. But she's not, like, crime fighting or anything. Because in here, her life goes to hell within the first few chapters because just stuff goes wrong. And she ends up getting her fate tied around with Ji-hoon. And it's rough for them. I haven't even read the second book in the series. The second book is Vicious Spirits. Haven't read it yet. Plan on reading it, but yeah. Love this. And I love there's some references to pop culture that I definitely appreciated in here. There's a reference to a character in League of Legends, which is the only video game I play. So there's a reference to a League character, which if you know, you know. So you don't even have to read this book. If you just know Gumiho and League, you'll figure out who I'm talking about. So I recommend this big time. Next is book 3. In book 3, I'll have to say, it's one of a series. It is my favorite book in this series. And 110% was worth reading. And I will read it more than once. I already know that. And that is Capturing the Devil by Carrie Maniscalco. So this is the 4th book in the Cressworth, story. And this is the last book. And it gives you all the closure you want. But granted, there's times in the beginning where you are like, you're giving it to Carrie Maniscalco. Like, at one point I was cussing her out. I know she couldn't hear me, but it was happening. Like, how dare you do that to them? But anyways, she makes it right in the end. That's all that matters. So, I love this book. The strong lead of Audrey, the mystery behind everything. Because everything ties back together. Stuff that happened in the first book and the second book, like, shows back up in here. And then characters in the 3rd book that you thought were just like a hi bye, nope, they're back in here too. So there's a lot more going on in this than you think until you start reading it. And yep, I love it. Absolutely love it. I have full faith that if I reread this now, it would still get 5 stars. That's how much I loved it. Okay. Book number 2. Are we ready? Maybe? We have Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I know I don't like sci-fi. I know. And it's lesbian necromancers in space. But Gideon is a fucking... her sense of humor is Deadpool. And I have a gay crush on Gideon. Big time. Not even a real person. And I have a gay crush on her. Because I just love everything about her. And there's just the right amount of comedic relief, but it's still a very strong book. And I can't wait. And the funny thing is like, this was originally going to be part of a trilogy, and it's now turned into a quartet. So, I highly recommend it. Big time. So, do you think you know what book number 1 is? I bet some of you were probably assuming it was going to be Gideon or one of the Carrie Maniscalco books. But it's Witch Shadow by Susan Dennard. We love this book. I just love this series. I know I said that earlier when I was talking about Blood Witch, but by the amount of tabbies and how quick I read this book, I loved this book. It answered some of those questions that I needed answered from the other books. It gave us more on the world building and the lore of what's going on in this world. We could see the strength of some of the characters that you were like, okay, all of you say that they're strong, but I don't see it. We got to see the strength now. And it's just fantastic. Chef's Kiss, 10 out of 10, highly recommend, would read a bajillion times over, because this world just grabs you and pulls you in, and you don't even want to leave. You're like, okay, yeah, all right. Kind of like that TikTok sound of like, if this man says to get that I was his property, if this book series says that I belong to them, I do. And I even took the test online, and I'm a Void Witch. Just makes me feel special. I recommend this series big time, and I need somebody to read it because I need someone to discuss it with, like just like the Bromance book club. Like, even a good chunk of the people I work with at Barnes & Noble hadn't even heard of the series. So I'm trying to get them all convinced to read it, so I have someone to discuss it with. And I preface, when I tell them this, I preface this, when you go into this book, you're going to be really confused and you're not going to know what's going on, and that's how it's supposed to be. So I was hesitant when I started this series because of the fact that Jade DNF'd it. And then when I rated Truth Witch 4 stars, and Wind Witch 4 stars, and Sight Witch 3 stars, I'm like, I don't know. I don't think this series is for me, but I need to see it through. And I am so glad that I kept with it, because this makes it all worth it. 1,000% worth it. And I can't wait till that last one comes out. I almost said the name of it, the title, but I don't think they've officially technically released the title. I know Susan has accidentally spilled the title at one point. So I'm not saying the title. I know the title. But yeah. It's good. So that was our top 12 5-stars of 2021. And I really hope that we read some good books in 2022 that will top these, because I just need that right now. So, comment down below if you guessed number 1 right or not, or what you thought number 1 was gonna be. Anyways, until next time, remember, you are loved and you are valid.